Alright guys, today I want to talk about oil changes. Okay, we got a 997 turbo and wanted to say a couple things about the guys that are taking their cars to oil change places. I'm not going to mention any names, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Or those discount coupon codes you get where you get 50% off your oil change or whatever they do to try to get you in the door. Let me tell you why it's a bad idea, okay? What I see all the time, and I do a lot of these Mesger engines, not just oil changes, we do full-blown repairs, but here's our drain plugs. Okay, this is your case drain plug, and this is your oil container, which is basically the reservoir for the dry sump system. And then these are your oil catch cans here, one on each side. Notice the bolts here. Those bolts have never been turned. In fact, those are the wrong type of bolts. Someone actually probably lost the Torx bolts like this and then put those in there, but they haven't been turned in a very, very long time. Let me tell you why that's a problem when you don't drain the oil out of your oil reservoirs. What I have seen, if you take this drain plug out, this is inside your case. Your oil pump's right here, and it drains out typically about no more than 2 liters. I have seen guys at the cars actually come in. Okay, this is no joke. They drain this. This car holds about 8 liters of oil total. I have seen them take off just this drain plug, right? They don't use a measuring container like we do because we want to see how much oil we're burning as well. And just drain this oil. I'm not kidding you. Not even know that this even exists. They're like, what is this bolt? They don't even know because they've never worked on race car engines. You shouldn't have anybody work on your Porsche if they're not trained or qualified to work on these cars, because this engine is about 100 grand to replace. So they'll fill up the oil, so now you have total capacity of 15 liters, which is a big no-no. And what happens is it starts blowing oil through your tailpipes. As soon as you crank it up, you can hear there's a problem, and it's just blue smoke everywhere. And I had somebody call me when they did this to a car, like, hey, we just changed the oil and this is what happened. This is why I'm telling you, this scenario does happen. And that was one of the shops that was willing to admit to their mistake, but they tackled on a job that they did not have proper understanding and knowledge. And what happened was they could have damaged the engine, they could have damaged the rods, because what happens is oil will flow into the cylinders, and that's why it was pretty much overflown, is it was allowing oil to bypass the rings. That's one big reason why there's a problem. Another one is you got to counterhold this. This is a welded piece. This is a pretty thin sheet metal here, stainless steel piece that can break easily. I've seen guys crank on these because there's so much torque involved. They will actually break it here, and it causes the oil reservoir to leak. And now you got a big problem on your hands. Now the engine has to come out, and imagine it has to be removed for somebody that's not qualified to even work on your car. Now if they broke this reservoir, it just tells you that they were being careless. Now it could be where somebody else already slightly cracked it, and then somebody was doing an oil change, it cracked more. That could be the case, but normally when they crack, you see the oil. So that's another big reason. Third big reason, if you don't change oil out of these reservoirs, turbo reservoirs, what's going to happen is you get sludgy oil inside here. There's cooling going to them, and the oil also works as a cooling, or it cools off your turbos as well, not only lubricating. Well, that sludge makes it into the turbos, wears the turbos out prematurely. If you guys want to know how much these turbos cost, I believe they're around retail $3,900 a piece. That's reman, and if you want brand new units from the dealer, somewhere around $5,900. And then if you have a GT2, which is going to be very similar engine, just a little bit bigger turbo by about 1 millimeter on the inducer side, we're talking about $7,995. That's a lot of money. Let's just say $8,000. That's 14 grand. And that's also from Porsche without the VGT system, which is the VGT. If you want the VGT on them, which is the motor section, they're somewhere around $9,500. So this is why you do not want to have some shop that just does everything and works on every single vehicle to touch this car, because this is really a race car. It's made for the street, and if somebody's messing with it and has no clue what they're doing, you really don't want something to go wrong, and then who are you going to hold responsible? So keep that in mind, all you Porsche owners. Even if you have even a cheaper vehicle, a cheaper 911, non-Mesger motor, certainly take it to a shop that's qualified. I'll make a video of how to determine a good shop, or what signs to look for to determine what Porsche shop you should use in your area. You know, there's a lot of dead giveaways and a lot of clues. You know, of course, you can go online, research them. You know, that's not always 100%. I mean, most of the time you can get a lot of information by doing some research on them. But you know, you could talk to the owner, you could talk to the main techs, see what they're about. And most Porsche shops, I would say 80% of them are probably going to be really good shops. They're a bunch of good guys. A lot of them are in the race community, and normally they'll do a good job unless they hire some young guy that's doing the oil changes. He's not trained, and I would say a lot of them will train their guys properly. At least I would speak for at least 80% of them. I can't speak for all, but that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Something very simple, a simple tip that can save your engine and keep you from blowing it up. Because if it happens and you don't even know about it, let's say they crank your car up and you had all that oil overfilled in your case, and then they drain it out, and then you have a problem with like your rod being bent, or because oil is not compressible. Well, guess what, guys? You'll be rebuilding that engine. You won't even know that that was even done to your vehicle. So that's why it's really important to take it to the right place. Well, hope this video helps somebody, and we will make another one shortly. Have a nice day.